Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about signs a narcissist is desperate or that the narcissist is getting desperate. And a lot of people can't believe this, but yes, narcissists do eventually at certain times get desperate. And I'm going to talk about the times that the narcissist gets desperate. When you see these type of things that I'm going to tell you guys today, you know that narcissist is desperate, okay? So, number one sign a narcissist is desperate is they offer to do things for you, okay? They offer to do things for you because they want you to be fooled. They want to keep you, all right? And the other sign that a narcissist is desperate is they'll give you money, all right? They'll give you money. See, narcissists, they're cheap as shit. So if a narcissist is giving you money, that narcissist is desperate for your supply. I get people that come back at me and say, oh, narcissists will never give you money. They will at certain times if they're desperate to keep you or they're desperate for your supply. So you could trust and believe that if a narcissist is giving you money, they need something out of you, okay? And they look at the money that they give you as an investment into something bigger, okay? Maybe they buy you little things here or there, all right? Especially in the beginning of the relationship. That's when you're going to see the best out of that narcissist. The best is always in the beginning, all right? That's when you're going to see the narcissist, fakest side. And you think, oh, they're such a great person. Oh, they're so nice. Oh, they offered to do this for me. They offered to do that for me. They offered to help me out in my house. They offered to paint. They offered to help out with the kids. They're a nice person. No, they're not, okay? They're doing those things to fool you because they are desperate for your supply. They're out to get your supply. And if they're giving you money, that narcissist is really, really desperate for your supply, all right? Maybe they buy you little things here or there, all right? And you're thinking, can't be a narcissist. Narcissists don't put their hand in their pocket, right? Well, if they want to move into your house and they're desperate, yeah, they would do something like that, all right? And I've seen narcissists do that. So, desperate narcissists do desperate things because once that narcissist gets in, you're going to see a totally different beast. They'll never, ever put their hand in their pocket once they're in and they've got your supply. Never, all right? And they'll never offer to do things out of the kindness of their heart. Never, never. So if a narcissist is offering to do things for you, they're desperate, okay? They are desperate. They need something out of you. Just know that you got the power, all right? You've got the power. And a lot of times, narcissists may try to do these kind of things, all right, because they see you're pulling away too. So sometimes when you're pulling away, the narcissist realizes, oh shit, you're starting to see through them. That's when they may offer to kill you with kindness and offer to do little things for you as well. Because again, that's a desperate narcissist who needs you. They don't want you walking away, all right? The other sign that a narcissist is desperate is when they hoover you. Yes, trust and believe that a hoovering narcissist is a desperate narcissist, okay? Not desperate to the point of, let's say, a narcissistic collapse, but they're getting desperate, okay? This is why you're hearing from them. I always say, when you hear from a narcissist, they're usually not doing well, okay? The supply they have is drying up, or they're bored with the other supply, or they could be fighting with the other supply. And then all of a sudden, ring-a-ling-a-ling, ring-a-ling-a-ling. Hey, how you been? Out of the blue, out of nowhere. And they act like nothing ever happened between the two of you. Meanwhile, you had the biggest fight ever, right? I had a narcissist who did this with me. We had a wicked, wicked fight, okay? And he came back a few months later And he was like, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I couldn't even believe this. I'm like, are you kidding me? Right? And then he had the nerve to say to me, you never gave the relationship a chance, which was a blatant lie. Okay. But I knew when I heard from this narcissist that he was desperate, that he must not have been doing so good. And now he wants to come back and get my supply. All right. So when a narcissist comes back, they're not doing well. I always tell people, they come to me and they say, Yaz, are they going to come back? And I always say, well, it always depends on what's going on in that narcissist's life. If that narcissist is not doing good, the probability of hearing from them will be high, okay? Higher. But if that narcissist is somebody, let's say, who may be a very good looking supply or has a lot of supply around them, they're not going to come back right away if they come back at all, all right? So understand this. A hoovering narcissist is a desperate narcissist. And they'll hoover you also on social media. They'll be watching your social media. They're also very nosy. They want to see what's going on in your life. In between them, bouncing from supply to supply, early morning. This is when they love to do it too, you guys. This is when the narcissist is stalking you. In the early morning, the narcissist is going on social media and they're looking at, what's going on with you. They want to see, are you happy? Are you sad? They don't ever want to see that you've moved on and or you seem happy. And that's when they'll try to come back and, sabotage you and like fuck with your head and shit, right? So those are all signs of a desperate narcissist. All of these are signs of a desperate narcissist. Now, the next thing, all right, that I want to bring up, all right, Yaz from the Game Exposed wants to bring up is the smearing. Now, listen here, okay? Nobody likes to be smeared. We get that, and we know that narcissists love to smear. But this is what you've got to keep in mind. If they're talking about you, you did something right. Da-da, okay? Because nobody smears you more than a desperate narcissist who you've got under their skin. So if they're talking about you to other people and putting you down, that means they're jealous of you and you have gotten under their skin, and they may not be able to get to you because they know you're a strong person. They can't break you down. They're afraid to take you on toe to toe because they know you may rip them to shreds. This happens a lot to strong people. The narcissist, they won't take you on because they know you're a strong person. But what they're going to do is you're the one who they're going to be talking about. You're the one who they're going to be putting down to the neighbors, to the family, to the friends, to your coworkers, to everybody. All right? Why? Because they're afraid. They can't tell you what they really think about you to your face because they know you will destroy them, okay? So instead, they get joy out of putting you down to other people, and they want these other people to hate you, not like you, look at you weird, all right? Understand this. If a narcissist is looking at you weird, not a narcissist, I'm sorry. If other people are looking at you weird or acting strange around you, and the narcissist has been around them, it's because that narcissist was bad-mouthing you. Some people don't realize this. And you'll see this, too, with the narcissist family, all right? Their dirty-ass family, all right? You go to a family get-together or something like that, and the family, they're nice on the surface, or they just, they ignore you or dismiss you, or they just look at you and they don't say anything, and then they're shifty eyes because they're narcissists as well, right? And you know that, like, you're feeling uncomfortable. You're feeling uncomfortable because they're acting weird around you because your narcissist is smearing you. That's what's going on. So when people around you are acting a little strange or funny with you, it's because that narcissist is running their mouth to them and saying things about you. They could be saying things like, oh, you have mental issues. You have anger issues. You're so insecure. You're so jealous. And now here you are at a family get together and they're looking at you like you have two heads. All right. They're looking at you like you have two heads, and you're like, you feel something is off in the room, and you're like, why are they acting so strange around me? Or they try to avoid you or something like that. It's because that narcissist was smearing you. That's what's going on, you guys. I'm telling you, I've seen this time and time again. I've seen this in my family. I've seen this with my ex's family. I've seen this around other people. And you don't realize it at the time when people are acting funny, why they're acting weird. But it's because the narcissist was talking bad about you. And if that narcissist is talking bad about you, it's because they're desperate. It's because most of the time, let me just clarify this now. Most of the time, this is the covert narcissist. This is another sign that covert narcissist is a coward. They are straight up cowards. They can't tell you what they really think about you to your face. Because again, they know you're going to rip them to shreds, all right? So they're going to be talking behind your back to discredit you. They love to say you have anger issues. Ooh, do they love to say, ooh, you take everything to heart. Oh, you're so sensitive, this and that, right? Meanwhile, they're the most sensitive people around. You say anything to them, they go crazy, right? So the narcissist is showing signs of desperation when they're smearing you, okay? This is their way. They're smearing you. They're desperate. They don't know what else to do to you. So what could they do now? They go behind your back and they talk about you, all right? That's a desperate narcissist. That's a desperate and jealous narcissist who's got to talk about you behind your back because they're so bugged by you. All right. You have just got under their skin. And if you haven't done anything personally to them, it's because they're just downright jealous of you. I'm telling you, a lot of this stems from their jealousy. And people say, well, what are they jealous of? I never did anything to them. I was always nice to them. They're jealous because you're a strong person and they admire that, but they can't be like that. But they wish they were strong like that. See, it's so confusing, right? And I actually have people in my family that are like this, that I say to myself, what is their problem? What have I done to these people? And I came to the conclusion that they don't like me because I'm a straight shooter, because I'm somebody that will tell you to your face if you're wrong, and they're threatened by me. So instead, what they got to do is talk behind my back and put me down and say I'm unhinged, or say I have mental issues, or say I'm sensitive and everything like that, to try to discredit me, all right? They want to discredit you because you're a threat, because you can expose these people, and this is one of their biggest fears. They don't want anybody to ever see them for who they truly are, okay? A coward. That's what they are, a fucking coward, all right? All right. I keep cursing in the podcast for AI. I want them to AI the fucking word. Okay. So, because all these AI channels that love to copy, I figure, well, you know what? I'll just curse throughout the thing. Then they could put out an AI video with a bunch of curses. All right, you guys. Oh my God. So funny, right? So anyway, here's the thing. A desperate narcissist is going to offer to do things for you. They may give you money. That's a real desperate narcissist who gives you money. That's a desperate narcissist for your supply. They're going to hoover you, okay, because they're not doing so good, all right? It's so funny with that because I remember me and my bestie, right? We used to laugh about this, and I used to tell her, oh, my ex came back or something like that, and she'd be like, he's not doing good. He's not doing, and I'm like, yeah, right? He's not doing good. I just got a text, right? And that's a desperate narcissist. And especially if you had a real bad blowout with that narcissist and they come back, that's a desperate narcissist, okay? See, people come to me and they say they heard from other influencers that a narcissist would never come back. Especially if you expose them or something like that, or they would never come back. That's not always true, okay? Because I've been through this. A desperate narcissist, even if you have the worst blowout in the world with them, a desperate narcissist could come back, okay? It depends on how desperate they are for your supply. Now, you guys, I'm going to go through a couple of other things of signs of a desperate narcissist. You will see a desperate narcissist when they offer to go to therapy. When a narcissist offers to go to therapy, they're desperate, okay? They are just straight up desperate because they're afraid you're going to walk away and they need you. Excuse me. It's hard for me to talk, you guys, during this podcast because I'm congested. So if I sound a little nasally, it's because of this cold I'm trying to fight. Okay, so a narcissist will, if you're going through a divorce, sometimes a narcissist will say, well, we could go to therapy. This is to just shut you up. That's basically what it is. Because the narcissist has no intention on ever changing in therapy, all right? They're doing that to pretend, maybe to, manipulate the therapist. And then if they don't like the therapist, they say, oh, I don't like that therapist. I'm not going back to that therapist. That's because the therapist is seeing through them, okay? They want a real stupid therapist that thinks that they're the victim, all right? Then they like the therapist. But generally, if a narcissist is offering to go to therapy, they're desperate, all right? They're desperate not to lose you. Maybe they don't want to go through that divorce. They don't want to pay out child support. They don't want to lose their home. So they'll say, well, we could go to therapy, right? Meanwhile, trust to believe, they're not changing, all right? And they don't want to change because they don't think they're the problem. They think you're the problem, okay? Now, another sign of a desperate narcissist is when they say, I'll change, okay? And occasionally, again, that's a desperate narcissist. Any narcissist who sits there and saying, well, I'll do this, or I'll change that, or I'll change this. Again, it's all manipulation. They have no intentions on changing. They're just making false promises to keep you. They're desperate for your supply. That's a desperate narcissist, one that promises to change, okay? Next sign a narcissist is desperate is, now this one, you guys, this happens. They'll go to your family, all right? A desperate narcissist will go to your family and they will throw you under the bus and smear you because they're desperate and they want to rip you to shreds. They'll go to your family, they'll go to your friends, they'll go to people that are close to you. That's a desperate narcissist that's trying to really hurt you and throw you under the bus, all right? That's a dirty-ass narcissist. A dirty-ass narcissist goes to your family. Like, where do you get off going to somebody's family, all right? You have a problem with me, you take it up with me. You don't go to my family, all right? And if narcissists will do that, they'll try to go to your family, talk bad about you, throw you under the bus, all right? So these are all signs a narcissist is desperate or they're getting desperate. Now, the next one and the last one, okay, of signs of a signs of a desperate narcissist, okay? This is another thing that you're going to see. When a narcissist gets sick, all right, you're going to see a different person initially. Narcissists that get sick are sometimes, they can actually be very nice, all right? And I saw this during the pandemic, all right? I saw this like with my ex. I couldn't believe it because of what was going on. He was like, oh, if you need anything, I could do that. I was like, is this the same person? Is this the same person I know? He was being very, very nice, right? And I was like, and it was because of what was going on, because it wasn't necessarily that he was sick at that time, but it was because what was going on in the world. And, everybody thought the world was going to end. Okay. Everybody thought the world was going to end and this and that. And I saw a little bit of a different person, right? And you could see that same thing when they get sick. Let's say they get sick, they get a bad flu, or they get COVID or something like that. They may start to be a little bit nice. Nice. They could be nice, or they could be straight up wicked with it, all right? But a lot of times I've seen this with narcissists where they could be nice and, they're more willing to talk or listen and everything because they're sick. They're desperate. They need you. This is the bottom line. They need you. They're sick. The narcissist is down. So when that narcissist is down, they're getting desperate, and they're going to start maybe to be a little nice because they need you. They don't want you to abandon them, and especially when they're sick. And the joke of that is they're the first ones to abandon you when you get sick. The first ones to abandon you when you get sick. If you ever have to go to a hospital with a narcissist, they may go take you and then they disappear and they leave you at the hospital. Okay. I've been through that. And then I'll be at the hospital. I went through that with my son. And then you'll be at the hospital for hours and you don't even hear from these people. All right. So it's like, yeah, thanks for your help, right? They disappear. They don't want to be around. So when a narcissist gets sick, oh, they're so nice. Hi, how are you? Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I got this bad cold. Yeah. And they want you to be like, oh, if you need anything, oh, I'll help you with this and everything like that. But the funny thing, you guys, is the minute they get better, they turn into a monster again. And that's exactly what happened with my ex, okay? The minute we realized, the world wasn't ending from COVID and everything was different and everything, all of a sudden he became wicked as hell, all right? All right, so I was like, that was short-lived, all right? That was short-lived. When he thought the world was ending and everything, and shit was popping off on the media and everybody thought the world was ending. Oh, he was being so nice and everything like that. If you need anything, right? If you need anything. Meanwhile, once everything opened up, everything changed. A totally different person, right? Wicked as hell. So the bottom line is narcissists get desperate when they need you. This is what it is. When a narcissist needs you, they are desperate for your supply. This is what it is. They're desperate for your supply, and it'll show up by them hoovering you. They're also desperate if they're smearing you, all right? This is a little different. Those smearing you, they're desperate to try to hurt you. If they offer to do things for you, they're desperate. They need you. If they give you money, they're very, very desperate for your supply, and they're trying to fool you because they need something big out of you. If they offer to go to therapy, they're desperate. They can't have you walk away. They're afraid of going, let's say, through divorce or something like that. So if they promise to change and try, I'll abide by your boundaries, they're desperate, okay? If they go to your family, they're real desperate, or your friends to talk about you or try to get them to side with them. They're really, really desperate. So those are all the signs that a narcissist is desperate, you guys. I'm glad I got through this podcast because I'm like so nasal congestion I'm suffering with here, So I hope that helps. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. If you're confused, you don't know if you're dealing with a narcissist, check out that link in the bio. Also, you guys, check out my TikTok at The Game Exposed. YouTube is The Game Exposed Podcast. And Facebook and Instagram is The Game EXP 123. And have a great day.